Hey YouTube, coming at you in my parents' basement with an Ultra League Premier team. So we're probably going to do Ultra League Premier a lot this week. And I am starting with Dragonite, Golisopod, and Stunfisk. And so basically it's just a balanced team. So right, Dragonite is weak to Ice and Fairy. Stunfisk, because Registeel is banned, Stunfisk is a great sub. Will hit super effective on Ice with the Rock and resist the Fairy. And then Golisopod as a safe swap. And I really like Golisopod as a safe swap in this meta. You'll just see it's so spammy. There's a lot of, like, I ran into so many Feraligators and so many Poliwrath today. You're going to see a ton of them come in here. And Golisopod just with the Claw and the Aerial Ace is just such a nice answer. I use the Aerial Ace just because, like, if you're against, like, a Poliwrath, you'd rather have a Aerial Ace hit super effective as opposed to X Scissor and Liquidation, which is, like, resisted. Dragonite kind of disappointed me, and I'll go over some of those in a minute here. And then Stunfisk was okay. So I guess we should start from the beginning of the battles. This is really going to be a rough couple days. First of all, I'm not even centered. Second of all, you can't see it. I'm just going to move this up to the camera before we get to it. I've got to bring this. It's got one screw. I couldn't find the other screw. So it's like leaning and falling. So hopefully it doesn't fall too much. Anyways, I'll try not to move. Let's watch some battles. Dragonite for Alligator. Dragonite is one of those where it's like, there's a lot of safe leads, but a lot of leads that you still lose in the one shield, which is what I didn't really like. But Dragonite is just really strong in the fact that you can, like, just double shield a lot in Dragon Breath. It's kind of like Dragonair in the Great League, right? You just double shield a bunch and use that Shadow Dragon Breath damage, right? And this is exactly what's going to happen here. I don't even need to shield because they just went Hydro. But I get 2 shields and take it super low. So that's, like, great, right? And this is where Golisopod comes in. Don't get the claw through. That stupid thing is coming back, where you, like, I should get a claw through coming in when they throw CMP. I should, like, and you saw I got denied. It happens a lot. Looks like they came with their own Golisopod, which is also kind of like why Aerial Ace is nice, right? You hit super effective on bugs. That I was like, oh, they're not throwing, but then they're already at the move, so it was just a visual glitch. It wasn't actually, they weren't getting the claws through. It was just a visual glitch. I get to the second one here, and then I think I can just claw down and shield. Nope, I can just claw down because I've already used my shields, and they come in, annihilate. So I'm gonna throw this Aerial Ace, and then I got to get out of here because I don't want to get countered down. And yes, Stunfisk is tricky. Stunfisk is obviously Registeel Light, and Registeel is so overpowered in this league. In this current meta, I saw Poliwrath and Annihilate, and you're going to see it in this video, probably on 40% of teams. Surfetched in this one, like, fighters in this meta are everywhere, and that's not surprising. So in this meta, so in this one, let me just stop and give you my thoughts, and then I'll go back to this, what I'm talking about here. Good lead, just Dragon Breath. They tried to catch. Stunfisk is obviously the answer because you resist the poison and hit super effective with the Earthquake. They will hit super effective with the Scald, but with the Mud Shots Earthquake, you'll just outpace. I kind of got it a little slow. Again, this is just like using Stunfisk for the first time. Stunfisk is Registeel Light, but a million times worse. It's fine in this meta, but the problem with the Premier League is, look at what is gone. And what is gone is Giratina, a Ghost, and Cresselia, a Psychic. And what that does is makes fighters stronger, right? They were already decently strong in most of this meta to start with. And now you have a decrease in, like, the main Ghost and the main Psychic. So it just makes them a lot more fighters. So when you use something like Stunfisk, and there's so many fighters out there, and I saw a bunch of Feraligators too today, it's tricky to use Stunfisk. Now, again, I used it as a dragonite, like like cover your weakness style right there, right? Like there's your Poliwrath. And this, so let's just finish Stunfisk. But this is also why Golisopod is so good, because Golisopod just resists everything here and resists everything with Feraligatr as long as they're not running Crunch. Yeah, this meta was a lot of that, and then like Sandslash is tricky too, because it has Drill Run, right? So Stunfisk has bulk. It's like a level 50 Pokemon. It's just that there's a lot of fighters in this meta right now. So in terms of like strength of this team, I really, really like Golisopod. Because there were so many Feraligatrs and so many Poliwrath, just being able to like resist all their charge moves is huge. Having Aerial Ace for the fighters is huge, and then Liquidation, Shadow Claw just combo is amazing in general. So if you don't have Golisopod was always one of those like kind of up and comers into the Ultra League anyways, and I always found it very strong. I really think you should build one if you don't have one. And then on this team, I think the team is strong because of how well you can cover each other's weaknesses. The only problem that I had was the Dragonite is like a level, I don't know. I guess I can try and look this up without making a bunch of a mess here. I think Dragonite's like level maybe like 30, something like that in the Ultra League. So let me just look up Ultra Premier Dragonite. So Shadow Dragonite is ranked 16th, and it probably does play like a top 20 Pokemon for sure. Not even close. Rank 1 is level 24 and a half. So yes, I'm just trying to like give an example versus like XL Poliwrath. So 176 attack, very attack heavy, but 138 defense, 145 stamina, 3500 overall. And then when you get into something like Poliwrath, which is the XL, right? 149 attack, 157 defense, 177 stamina for 4159 overall. And you feel every bit of that 600 difference of the overall stat product and the lack of defense on Dragonite. And that's why Dragonite really is the strongest with shield advantage. Because in a lot of even shield scenarios, like I won't live Icy Winds and they'll get 2 of them off, but they'll Poliwrath will live a Claw sort of thing, right? It does say you beat Poliwrath. Let me see what it looks like here. Oh, because you land a superpower, not right. That's the thing. So you do land a superpower to win and not a. So for those of you who don't know, like if you, again, sorry for going off. I'm not going too super off. I'm going off with a Pokemon that I'm using. Superpower. I was always shocked by this, but it's true. In a neutral matchup, you want to throw non-stab superpower over a stab Dragon Claw. That's how bad Dragon Claw is, or maybe just how strong superpower is. So if you just take out your moves on Dragonite and just put in the only charge move is Dragon Claw, you lose against Poliwrath. So you throw a Claw, they shield you, they throw an Icy Wind. You shield, so your attack is lowered, but it only does 42 damage, 23.7. They live, get off an Icy Wind, take you out, 16 HP left. If you have that superpower, so what is this? 42. Even though they lower your attack with the Icy Wind, that superpower does 60 damage and takes it out. So an extra 18 damage from a superpower compared to a Dragon Claw, right? So I know you're just thinking like Dragon Claw, it's a Dragon type move on a Dragon Pokemon. Superpower is the better move. So yes, you can theoretically beat Poliwrath if you go Dragon Claw superpower as opposed to double Dragon Claw, because if you do that, you're going to lose. Anyways, with Dragonite, yeah, 3,500 overall stat product, really attack heavy. So in a lot of matchups, you are just trying to grab those shields. Sorry, use shields and just Dragon Breath down. Galarian Stunfisk is ranked 18th. And like you know what you get with Stunfisk, right? You get a very, very defensive Pokemon. 133 attack, 156 defense, 214 stamina for 4,500 overall, right? It's a level 50. It's a level 50 Pokemon. You get a ton of defense with decent moveset, right? Mudshot, one of the best fast moves in the game. Earthquake, a great nuke of a ground knight. And then Rock Slide is sort of meh, 45 for 75, 1.67. It's a nice coverage move, essentially. It's a coverage move. But your weaknesses kill you right now. Like I'm against a Greninja here. 4 weaknesses: fighting, fire, ground, water. And fighters are everywhere, water's everywhere. I don't know if the Skeldgers has come up yet. Skeldgers is kind of an interesting one because you are weak to fire, but you also hit super effective against fire with Mudshot, Rock Slide, so it kind of evens out. But you're weak to fire, which is everywhere, and then decent amount of ground too. So the problem, so like, yes, you have a ton of resistances, but how many of those resistances are we seeing? Poison, rock, electric, steel, psychic, normal, flying, fairy, dragon, and bug. Tons of resistances. But my argument is you are going to see more of the 4 weaknesses than you are of the 10 resistances. And that's what makes Galarian Stunfisk a little tricky to run in this meta. Again, I used it because it's a great cover for these two. But quite honestly, having played Dragonite, and it's like kind of relying on its like Dragon Breath damage and Stunfisk just having so many weaknesses, I would suggest pick another 2 Pokemon and use Golisopod as a safe swap. Because I really think Golisopod is an extremely, extremely great safe swap in this meta. And the other 2 Pokemon, while not bad, both top 20 Pokemon, just not amazing. Poliwrath for Alligator, yes, a ton of those, not surprising. Annihilate saw a decent amount of those, not surprising either. I should have thrown... I didn't think I would get to a liquidation there. I thought I would only get to an aerially, so that's why I threw it. Obviously, throw a liquidation there if you can. Getting a couple more Dragon Breaths here is not the worst case scenario. And here's what I'm talking about the fire. I make a pretty nice catch here. I think it's a little too late for it to matter. But catch the Dazzling Gleam. Nope. Disarming Voice. Catch it here, so it's a nice catch, and they have a double fire. So okay, that's unfortunate. Again, Rock Slide, nice coverage, great coverage. Unfortunately, non-stab and not a hard-hitting move. That is a double super effective Rock Slide. That is a double super effective Rock Slide to not take out a flyer. I remember what happened here. I actually labeled this misplayed, but I still won because I think they misplayed it too. So they flame charge. They must be running Brave Bird or something that they couldn't get to because Fly would take me out, but they flame charge me, don't get to the move, and now I can take them out with a Dragon Claw. I shouldn't have won this matchup. I remember this matchup. I was like, oh, I shouldn't have won that, but I did. So that's okay. We take those. Terrible lead. I'm pretty sure this was a hard counter team, right? So Steelix against Dragonite is brutal for Dragonite. They're staying in. They're going to lower my defense with Psychic Fangs, and then they get into a water Pokemon. So I guess it's not a true hard counter, but I remember just getting killed in the back end here too. I think it was like a double water team in the back or something like that. It's something that killed Stunfisk and killed Dragon. I had like no shot at this matchup. So once they lowered my attack, Hydro Cannon comes through. Unfortunately, their claws and Hydro is more than enough to take me out after they've done all that damage. So I got to come in back in Dragonite. And then I get hit with the Steelix again, and then it's like another water in the back. Like it was, this one was just a hard counter. I didn't have an option here, like a win condition. So I'm instant pressing. I got like false hope here for a minute. I'm like, they're not getting out. They're throwing. Are they switch locked or are they like just double weak to this? I'm like, if you have a Steelix, you definitely got an answer to Steelix. And hello, Poliwrath. Just nothing I can do. Double water, steel double water. I guess you're trying to draw out an electric. Yeah, Steel Double Water. Draw out an electric with Feraligatr, and then punish it with Steelix, or even a grass. Steelix will do okay with Psychic Fangs, and then the other water roams free. That's your thought process behind that. Ampharos, you got to stay in because Golisopod is weak to it. Feraligatr comes in. So I have Ampharos on the lead. They switched into Feraligatr, and at this point, I'm surprised. I could have played this two ways. I could have I tried to catch like a Hydro there, or an Ice Beam, because both would have been resisted. The other option was I could have easily taken that switch because the Dragon Breath was so much damage and they let that go. I could have stayed in there and then come in Stunfisk into this matchup. I mean, I'm going to get Stunfisk in this matchup anyways, but like that's another way I could have played it. They eventually take me out, but now I can get Stunfisk in here. They throw a move, probably just a Brutal Swing. I'm going to let this go, obviously. And hello, the fire. And this is what I'm talking about this matchup. Like it's even-ish. Those fires are hurting. But I'm getting the Mud Shot quickly, and I have the Rock Slide, and then I come in here to not catch a move. What am I doing here? I guess I had two shields, and I just wanted to do some Dragon Breath, Dragon Claw damage. So got that second one. I assume I let them take me out and just come back in and Rock Slide here. Yeah, I need to get the Rock Slide off before they get to a move. This will take them out. I'll have a shield advantage against an Ampharos, which is already such a dominant matchup anyways. Anyways, that is it for Team 1. We're definitely going to play this. I played all 6 sets today because I had 5.5. I had a half of the set banked from yesterday. I played all my sets. I got another team with Feraligatr probably coming tomorrow. Or is that one coming next? I have 2.5 teams today. I did that one. I did one with an all shadow, and that's what I'm trying to remember if the all shadow was. I know Shadow Machamp was on it. Was Shadow Feraligatr on that one too? And I have another one. Anyways, stay tuned for a few Ultra Premieres coming up here this week, because I think there's a lot of options. Although that being said, there's a lot of options. There's a lot of options that shrunk pretty quickly. Again, not surprising given the access to some of these top Pokemon. Poliwraths were everywhere. Feraligatr was everywhere. A good amount of Annihilapes. Saw a couple Dragalge and Tentacruel. Saw a couple Lanturns. The amount of people who have XL Lanturns is really freaking high. Gliscor was an interesting one I ran into a couple times. It was kind of tough both times, actually, quite honestly. And then Skeldurge at 34. But yeah, you didn't get a ton of these other Pokemon. I'm looking at the 45 range. Abomasnow, Florges, Umbreon, Sneasler, Charizard, Double. I didn't get any of these. I didn't get any of these today. Trevenant I did get. It was really like top 20 Pokemon. Poliwrath a lot, Feraligatr. Empoleons, Dragalge, Tentacruels, Lanturns, Gliscors, Obstagoons, Talonflames, a couple Steelix, a couple Venusaurs. I saw a few Venusaurs today. Skeldurge at 34. That was most of the meta that I saw. So again, that's a lot of the top 35 Pokemon. Not surprising. Some of these are just like normal staples of Ultra League. Some of these bumped up a bit because of what is banned, right? Something like Venusaur that can just get like killed by Giratina has now a lot more play. That Giratina is banned, plus all these fighters are coming out, right? As poison, right? So you got to think about it from that perspective. There's going to be the stuff that's just always good. Poliwrath, Feraligatr. Those are going to be good in Open, Ultra League, or Premier League. It's those other Pokemon, like when you get down to like the mid-20s here, like kind of like what I said, Venusaur, where in the Open League, you're just going to have a lot of trouble against Giratina, and there's not as many fighters and stuff like that. So now Venusaur gets a little bump. A couple of these flyers get bumps. darks probably go down a bit, right? Because there's so many. I was thinking about Umbreon, but then I'm like, I saw 100 Poliwrath and Annihilate, so I really want to use like Umbreon. So like those are the types of things you need to think about when you're going to be playing Ultra Premier. Anyways, that is it. That is a lot of rambling. So yeah, stay tuned for a few more Ultra League Premier this week. Hope you're having a good Easter weekend if you celebrate. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.